Hello everyone, we are back. Episode number 5 of the WCW game. We are currently on Thursday the 25th of December, Christmas Day. So for those that joined us last, we just had Starrcade. So we'll have a quick recap of what's happening outside of WCW. So we had, what day of the week was that? Sunday, we had some pay-per-views. You had Speed. Don't really think too much happened there, but the big ones are, here we go, Monday Night Raw. So we'll go to Grayson Waller defeating John Cena. You've got AJ Lee defeating Ivy Neal. Sheamus beating Omos. So it's pretty stacked card. I got NXT here, so have a look at that. Blake Monroe defeating Nikki Cross, retaining North American Championship. That's your highlight, really. So that's a quick catch up on Raw and NXT. AEW Dynamite, again, keep rerunning. Monet versus Timeless Tony Storm. But this time Tyra Valkyrie was in the match. And then Nick Jackson beat Eddie Kingston, MVP, Bowens, Darby Allin and Samoa Joe. Very random. But let's go back to WCW. We have got Terry Taylor resigning with WWE. Contract renewal there for Joshua Burns, aka Josh Briggs. Haley Hudson's left TNA, she's going on tour in Japan. So you get quite a lot of that, people leaving. And JCW's grown to regional. Matt Cardona beat Simon Gotch on their show. Right, we're going to go to Behind the Curtain. As always, we're building behind the scenes. So we open up with a backstage promo. This is following Starrcade. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, both still in their gear, pacing furiously around the secluded hallway. Their faces are red because they've got rage and they're in disbelief. We have Scarlett Bordeaux. She seems to be lingering, leaning against the wall further down the hallway, watching everything that's happening. An interviewer says to Ronda and Shayna, can you give us your thoughts on what just transpired there in the women's title match? The shocking involvement of Nattie, Neidhart and Alexa Bliss walking away with the Women's World Championship. Ronda whips her head round, her eyes blazing, cutting the interview off mid-sentence. Shayna cracks her knuckles. Ronda, thoughts? You want my thoughts? My thoughts are that Nattie Neidhart is a coward. A jealous, pathetic excuse for a competitor who can't win on her own. Or she has to crawl out from under a rock and interfere in championship matches. Shayna, and Alexa Bliss, you think your little game you played was clever? You think running off with that makes you a champion? You didn't win, you stole it, and you did it with the help of that traitor. Ronda, Nattie, you think you saved Alexa, you think you're safe. Now, you've just painted a target on your back. And Alexa, that little dollhouse you live in, we're coming to knock it down, brick by painful brick. Shayna stepping closer, her eyes are narrowing with menace. You two want to play dirty? Fine. You want to bring cheap shots and distractions? Consider it done. But understand this. When we deal with us, you'll be dealing with a different breed. We don't just win, we break people. Ronda, but there's going to be consequences. You're going to be pain. And mark my words, Bliss, Neidhart, there will be blood, and it's going to be all over your hands. Ronda then shoves the cameraman as they storm off in the background. Around the corner, Scarlett Bordeaux, still lurking in the background, finally pushes off the wall. A faint, unsettling smirk on her face before she walks in the opposite direction. So 89 for that angle. We have here a scene of Shane O'Mac in his office. It's got decorated for Christmas, of course. Shane's leaning back in his executive chair, high-end phone pressed against his ear, looking relaxed and undeniable glint of ambition in his eyes. He's on the phone. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too, big man. Hope you're enjoying your day, family good, food, all that jazz. He pauses for a moment. Look, I know it's Christmas Day, and believe me, if it could wait, it would. But you know how it is, Kev. Business is business, and this is business needs a shake-up, a big one. I'm thinking a lot about impact, about making waves so big they create a tsunami, about something unforgettable. Kevin, I've got 3 letters for you. NWO. On the other end, we hear a deeper voice. It's Kevin Nash. Nash is like, whoa, 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 slow down there, Shayna. NWO? Okay, you got my attention, I'm listening. Shane breaks into a mischievous grin as the screen fades, so we don't get to hear the end of the conversation, but bit of a clue here. Shane and Mac approaching Kevin Nash on his thoughts about bringing back the NWO. 82 for that rating. We now cut to a heart-warming but slightly unusual scene where we're at Arn Anderson's living room. Obviously festively Christmas decorated. He's got Brock Anderson and Elijah with him, all got custom made, but yeah, a little bit tatty. Rogue Horseman Christmas jumpers on, featuring the 4-finger hand gesture over a snowy landscape. Arn sips on a mug. The festive smile is momentary. It's back to his signature no-nonsense gaze. Brock and Elijah immediately straighten up, sensing the shift. So Arn. Right boys, Christmas is all well and good. Good food, bad sweaters. But let's get down to the brass tacks. That win at Starrcade, with Cody by our side, that was a good start. A damn good start. You showed the world what you're capable of. Both guys nod in appreciation. Elijah, we are ready to keep the momentum going on. On, good, but momentum is a fleeting thing in this business. You got to grab it by the throat and never let go. And to do that, this group, our group, it needs depth. We've established ourselves. Now it's time to expand. We mean more than just a couple of young guys, and an old dog calling the shots. We need more talent, more grit, more horsemen. People who understand what it means to be at the top and stay there. Brock, so you are looking for new members, Arn? Arn. You're damn right we are, Brock. This ain't a 2-man band, and it sure as hell ain't just me telling stories. We need more hands on deck, more muscle, more brains. We need to find the next generation that understands what it means to be the most dominant force in this business. So consider this an invitation, an audition, if you will, because the Rogue Horsemen are coming and we're going to leave the footprint so big no one forgets us. And that segment got a 76. I don't know why, but I'll do this again. Apparently the face turns... Oh, Brock's one was a success. Still highlighted. 76 overall. Right, we are back with Shane McMahon's office. He's still at his desk, festive cheer and all, tapping his pad, clearly deep in thought about his NWO plans. There's a hard knock at the door. Come in. The door creaks open. The legendary figure of Meng steps into his office. Meng then says, Shane, thanks for the first class travel. Appreciate it. Shane nods. Ming, pleasure to have you. I trust your trip was comfortable. Ming, comfortable enough. I've got what you asked for. Ming reaches down, he pulls out a slightly battered duvet, a duffel bag from behind, and it looks well travelled. He walks to Shane's desk and gently puts it down. It's all there. I've places to be. Christmas, you know. Ming gives a slight nod. He turns and exits Shane's office, silent and efficient as he entered. Shane, alone with this mysterious bag. He stares at it for a moment. He glances at the door Ming's just exited through, then slowly reaches out a hand and unzips the heavy canvas bag. A sense of anticipation building with each pull of the zipper. He peers inside, his eyes widen slightly as he recognises the contents. With a slow, deliberate motion, Shane reaches into the bag and pulls out a relic from the WCW past. The tarnished, weapon scuffed and utterly brutal looking WCW Hardcore Championship. The camera zooms onto the title. Shane holds the championship in his hands, a slow grin across his face. He looks from the title to the camera, a flicker of mischievous intent in his eyes. He spins the title a little. Shane then says, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." The scream abruptly flares back as we ponder the hardcore implications. And that got a little 67, get an 83 for the B show because it's just full of high angles. High angle rate, I could book a whole show of angles, I'd probably get loads of ratings. But of course it's a wrestling show, you gotta book wrestling. So, 3 bits of news. Haku leaves, of course, he was on a 1-day contract. YouTube want that, and as you can see, we brought back the WCW Hardcore title. Just wanted to give some of the lower cards some stuff to do, if I'm being honest. Let's have a quick look, see what has happened around the world. Let's have a look at Impact. Hardy's beat Santana and Joe Hendry. Macklin beating Jake something. And we had Evolve. Timothy Thatcher beating Jason Drake. Right, next up will be Thunder. Okay, we are at Thunder, and we open up with the tag team champions, Ivar and Eric, War Machine, taking on Adrenaline Drip, Jake Cartwheel and Cappuccino Jones from WWE Evolve. Not a bad match, 5 minutes, 2.5 star, 57. It also says here with a bit more time they could have pulled off a better match, so maybe a rematch in the future. So yeah, not a bad start. We have Trevor Lee defeating Lexus King, and wow, a dud. They had obviously no chemistry and put on an awful match, but Trevor Lee got the win. A triple threat match here. Zarya defeats Saray and Lady Movella. Zarya is getting a bit of a mini push at the moment, so yeah, good win for her. 3-star match, 58. So we cut backstage to a bit of a tense huddle. We've got Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. They're looking fierce and imposing, and they confront Koki and Stevie Turner, the Evolution. In the background again lurks Scarlett Bordeaux observing Ronda. Alright girls, tonight you've got a chance to prove yourself. Nattie Neidhart, the Queen of Hearts, and the new champion Alexa Bliss. They think they're on top. Shayna, we know how that feels, don't we? Being overlooked, but this isn't about winning. This is about making a statement, doing some damage. Send a clear message to Alexa and Natalya, and anyone else who thinks they can stand in our way. Koki and Stevie exchange a look. Stevie's eyes narrow slightly, a hint of defiance in her posture. Do some damage. We always do damage. That's what the Evolution does. Koki. But we don't take orders from anyone. Our evolution is our own path. We don't need guidance, especially from those that failed to capture gold. Seems like a subliminal jab there. Ronda is like, excuse me, Shayna, watch your mouth, rookie. You think you're above us? Without any words being spoken, Koki and Stevie turn around and simply walk off, arrogance, confidence surrounding them. Scarlett Bordeaux smirks widely in the background. She's enjoying the scuffle between the two heel counterparts, and she melts back into the shadows as the camera pulls away, looking at a very pissed off Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. So overall, 73, a little bit of a push for the Evolution. Another tag team match here. We have got Baron Corbin and Dijak, the Skyscrapers. They defeat Sean Legacy and Rich Swann, 1.5 star match, 54. This segment may have helped Dijak gain popularity, but his lack of momentum meant the fans couldn't get behind him. So Dijak needs to build some wins. Singles action, Braun Strowman not Braun Strowman, sorry, Braun Breaker comes out and destroys Luke Jacobs, I'm afraid. He's needs to be built back up a little bit after losing his world title match, 2-star match, 59. Backstage, we're in a hallway. We see Arn Anderson, Brock Anderson, and Elijah Holyfield standing together, looking purposeful. They seem to be finishing conversation when none other than the new United States Champion, Dolph Ziggler. The ambient noise of the crowd and other backstage chatter make it difficult to understand what's going on, but the body language is intense and focused. We catch a glimpse. Arn is doing most of the talking. He gestures firm and authoritative. Ziggler's listening intensively, occasionally nodding, a thoughtful expression on his face, while Brock and Elijah watch closely. Their gazes are fixed on Ziggler. Anderson extends his hand. Ziggler looks for a moment, and a slow, knowing smirk spreads across his face. He shakes Arn's hand with a solid, almost meaningful handshake. With the handshake done, Ziggler claps Arn slightly on the shoulder, turns, a newfound swagger in his step. He heads confidently towards the gorilla position as he's heading for his match, with the Rogue Horseman watching on. Arn has a satisfied nod, while Brock and Elijah exchange a look of a quiet understanding. The camera holds for a bit longer as the Rogue Horseman, expressions unreadable but clearly content, as Dolph Ziggler's music starts playing in the arena. And then in singles action, Dolph Ziggler defeats from AAA El Hijo del Vikingo. This got a 2.5 star, 64. Trying to obviously build Dolph momentum. Following the match, we get Shane McMahon comes out. Got a big grin on his face. He proudly holds up the brutal looking WCW Hardcore Championship. Shane, last night the legendary Ming delivered a package to my office, a very special package, a piece of WCW history that's been dormant, waiting for the right moment and the right man. Ladies and gentlemen, the WCW Hardcore Championship is back, but for those who aren't afraid to get extreme, to fight dirty, and to truly live on the edge. There are no rules, no limits, just pure, unadulterated chaos. If you want to prove you're the toughest SOB in WCW, you better start getting hardcore, because next week we begin the hunt for the new champion. And who wants to step up? Shane drops the mic and takes the Hardcore title with him. Marrow. Hardcore Championship officially reactivated. Shane McMahon is truly changing the game here in WCW. Booker. Brother, this is going to be wild. You know what it means, sucker. Tables, ladders, chairs, everything but the kitchen sink. And the Velvet and everyone in the locker room just heard the challenge. Who would dare step into the Hardcore division? And I got an 80. In singles action, Dakota Kai defeats Tessa Blanchard. What, 2.5 stars, 60%. Singles action, Killer Cross, Karrion Kross requested to face Tetsuvendo. Cross with the win. 3-star match, 66. Following the match, Karrion Kross stands over his defeated opponent. His eyes are cold and unwavering. Kross doesn't acknowledge the crowd. His focus is entirely on a point beyond the arena walks. He grabs the microphone. Damian Priest, you hold what is mine. You seize the moment, a starcade, a fleeting glimpse of glory. But understand this, Priest. This is not over. Not by a long shot. What you possess, that WCW World Heavyweight Championship, is not your destination. It is merely a temporary stop on my journey. It is my destiny to become world champion, to dominate this company, and it is only a matter of time. Kross drops the microphone. He then slowly raises his arm, holding his fist to the sky, and brings down a powerful thud against his chest. That's the light in the arena. Then and his music plays as he exits, leaving a chilling moment hanging in the air. And a Kross promo here got a 92. So Kross is obviously very good on the mic, I'll be using him a lot on the mic. Just as that finishes, Damian Priest then comes out for his promo, his first promo as WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Takes his time soaking in the reaction, holding the championship. He grabs the mic. Last night at Starrcade, I walked into a four-way dance, a battle of monsters, and I walked out undisputed WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And every single second of the struggle, every sacrifice, every doubt, it was all worth it. This isn't just a title, it's a statement. It's the future of WCW, and it belongs to the Punisher of badasses. Gets a mixed reaction, mainly cheers. Just as he's about to continue, a loud roar echoes through the arena as we get Braun Strowman's music hits. He's got a determined, menacing look on his face as he power walks to the ring. Strowman enters the ring, slowly circling Priest. The tension is palpable. The crowd murmurs, expecting a brawl. Strowman stops directly in front of Priest, leaning in close. Their faces are merely inches apart. Instead of a headbutt or a shove, Strowman slowly extends his hand. Priest looks at it, then looks at Strowman's eyes, seeing a flicker of respect despite the challenge. And for a moment of intense compilation, Priest firmly shakes Strowman's hand. A show of mutual respect between the powerhouses. Strowman then sort of leans in. Priest, you earned that. You fought like a monster. You stood still, tall, but understand this. Strowman pulls his hand and then points directly at the WCW Championship on Priest's shoulder. Braun, I want next. The monster among men is coming for that title. He drops his head. The two others stare down. Neither seem to be backing off. Crowd's on its feet. The segment ends with the two giants locked in a stare down. Their championship aspirations clearly defined. Then we get Marrow saying, "What a moment." Show of respect followed by an immediate monstrous challenge. Strowman wants a shot at the newly won WCW World Championship. Booker, now that's how you make a challenge, sucker. No cheap shots, just a man-to-man declaration. Priest has got his work cut out for him because Strowman ain't playing. And then Velvet. The main event picture in WCW is stacked. Priest already has carrying cross breathing down his neck, and now Braun Strowman stepping up again. And I got an 85. So this is the main event. We have Bliss and Nattie Neidhart teaming to take on the Evolution. Nattie Neidhart will get the victory. It wasn't a bad match. It says Bliss's performance was worse than normal. It got 2 stars 62, and we had interference coming in. And this is your post-match. Just as the bell rings, after a hard-hitting contest, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler storm the ring. Sliding up, they go straight for Alexa Bliss, tackling to a mat with a fury of strikes. Shayna then went for Nattie, locks in a submission hold, trying to wrench her arm. Before they can fully establish dominance, Koki and Stevie react, angered by the interruption. They turn their attentions on Ronda and Shayna. Ignoring the previous opponents, Koki shoves Ronda off Alexa while Stevie starts trading vicious forearms with Shayna. What started as a 2-on-2 attack has quickly devolved into an all-out 3-team brawl. Alexa's back on her feet. She jumps on Shayna Baszler's back. Nattie grabs Koki by the hair and slams her head first into the turnbuckle. Limbs are flying, hair is being pulled, screams of anger echo through the arena. The referees from the previous match try in vain to separate the combatants, but they're overwhelmed. The chaos erupts, and Shane McMahon's music, Here Comes the Money, hits. He storms out to the stage with behind him full of the WCW road agents, as you can see here, and also some WCW referees. The camera pulls back, showing the entire ring filled with brawling women, struggling agents and referees. Shane throwing his hands up in frustration. But yeah, we are now pushing towards a triple team brawl here. It got 68, probably could have been higher for a main event segment, but hey, 74 overall. and we gain popularity. That is always the biggest thing, gaining popularity, because that slow climb up is what I need to improve my ratings. And as you can see, we started on 53, we're clinging on, we're getting there. So we got our promise, you're welcome, 2 million viewers, so a little bit of a climb there. There we go, we got Taylor Rotunda staying with WWE. Contract for Lee Moriarty's coming up. So like I said, I won't always click on these stories, but if there's interesting ones I will. So let's have a look at Ring of Honor. Will Ospreay beat Shibata, Mark Briscoe, John Moxley. Wow. We've got SmackDown here. Jade Cargill defending against Charlotte Flair, retaining. I prefer this view, if I'm being honest. The Rock and Charlotte Flair angle. Tiffany over Sinclair. We got some tag action here. Miz beating Rowan. Solo Sikoa and Rusev beating Shinsuke and R-Truth. Orton beat Briggs. Uncle Howdy and Jacob Fatu beat the Creed brothers. Uncle Howdy's got an angle with Ciampa. And there was your main event. Jade Cargill defeating Charlotte Flair. We'll go forward just a few more days. Let's see in the new year, as they say. We're into the 28th of December. So not too much happening on this date. We got AEW Collision. I'll have a quick scroll. Bang Bang Gang beat the Learning Tree. Again, Mercedes Moné retains again. And we've got Eddie Kingston beating Kit Sabian. Main event, Swerve beating Nicholas Jackson. Might need to get some updated renders for the Young Bucks if I was playing as AEW. So, just doing that bit now while we're getting towards the end. Hey, look at that. Lee Moriarty signs with WWE. That's probably a nice little steal. Good talent. Promotion Wars. I'm still getting smashed by AEW. What did I win on? Production quality and show quality. So at least my shows are good. Let's have a look. So you got Stephanie McMahon's contracts coming up. Got some people leaving. Any shows? Don't really care about Evolve. Evolve has grown to regional sides though, so yeah, it's done alright. What we're on now, Monday, so we should have Raw coming up. There it is, Raw on Netflix. Oh, there we go, look at that. That would be Jey Uso, I believe. New Japan Pro Wrestling have gone for Jey. Should I take a punt on Jey? Maybe Athena? She'd be a good signing for me. Look, what I'll do is we'll have a quick look at Raw. Blue Meanie taking some time off following a family tragedy. That's fair enough. Here we go. Look, Monday Night Raw. Drew and Penta there. We got Charlie Dempsey defeating. I'm not sure who that is, but channeling Lorenzo. Jey Uso is working a program with Grayson Waller. Sheamus beat Shugs. We've got Gunther defeating Luca. And Galande Americana still defending that Speed Championship. AJ Lee beating Ivy Neal. In the main event, Becky Lynch beating Bayley. So let's see how much he would want. So if I was to bid for Jey Uso, he would want 300,000 a month. Plus obviously lots of perks. So Jey Uso, I mean I like him, but I will not be going for Jey. So NXT coming in. So Stephanie staying with WWE. That's no shocks there. Nothing yet with Jey. So Indy Hartwell has left TNA because she's gone to fight for Marigold in Japan. So obviously gone on tour. We've got. I suppose we'll have a quick look see at NXT. What have we got? Here we go. NXT. We've got Julia defeating Ty Hale. The New Day beating Dexter Lumis and Noam Dar. Matt Hardy and Tony D'Angelo versus TNT. Chad Gable beating Carmelo Hayes. Right, here we go. We're going to forward one more day. We are on to the 1st of January 2026. There you go. Jey Uso, he is staying with WWE. He's signed on the dotted line, apparently for 6 figures. Who knows? Fiend is staying with AEW. We had Dynamite here. Adam Cole, he's still going, just about. Alice Lisicki. Tommy Billington beating Joshua Alexander. Cole Carter and Griff Garrison beat the Dark Order. Wow. Keith Lee's back, huh? Beat Gabe Kidd. MJF beat Darby Allin. Brandon Cutler and Tomohiro Ishii. Again, Mercedes Moné beat Tony Storm in the land of repeat. So I believe if I go to awards and we click on 2025, we can see the best shows, I guess. SmackDown got a best show, 87. So yes, this particular SmackDown was the best show, headlined by Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Not a bad show, I guess. I got a Thunder up there. I got a Thunder. Obviously, my massive promo writings. What was my? This was the Braun Strowman, the tag team main event. Promotion of the year, WWE. AEW. Am I even in the top 10? Didn't even qualify. Awesome. Maybe next year. Women's Wrestler of the Year. So there's only 4 for some reason, but the game started like 3 weeks ago. So Mercedes Moné, Kanosuke, yeah, there's none of the. So it looks like the awards is a bit broken because of the way the year started. That the fact the game started in mid-December. But hey, we had a quick look. Apparently 5-star match here. 73 would have been the crowd rating, but yeah, 5-star match, 5-star match. I don't think we've had a 5-star match yet. So lots of matches in Japan, Dragon Gate. So we'll see what 2026 brings. But yeah, promotion of the year, that's pretty much obvious. We're gonna end this episode here. I hope you're still enjoying it, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. And as always, take care, everybody.